enforcement look at how tall your grass is?
The city of Topeka has an ordinance that says that your grass, weeds, or uncultivated vegetation has to be below 12 inches. And it's really important because tall grass is a place that rodents can live and they hide. So you're encouraging rats and stuff up into your property when you don't take care of it. Trash and debris blow into your yard and get captured by the tall grass. And it's also a blight issue where when people see your yard and you have over 12 inches of grass, it shows that you really don't care for your house or your neighborhood, and it invites crime into the neighborhood. And what happens is our code inspectors go out either proactively and locate these, or we receive complaints from neighbors who are frustrated that their neighbor's grass is over 12 inches. When they go out, they use a stick like this that's 12 inches in height. They put it in the ground next to the weeds. They document it through photographs and they take pictures of it. Then they leave this little yellow flag on the property. And this is kind of important for citizens because if you happen to see one of these yellow flags sitting in the yard, then you know that the city has already cited the property. Because we would encourage you to call in any grasses that you see over 12 inches that you don't see the gold flag. We're using this as a perfect example because of how high it is. But when you place the marker down, it's obvious that it's over 12 inches. So we would take our pictures, we would cite the case, a letter would go out to the owner giving them 10 days from the day of the letter. So if we mail it on the 1st, you have till the 10th to mow your property. On the 11th, an inspector goes back out on the property. If he sees that you haven't mowed it, we then contact a crew to come mow the property. If you happen to mow it before the crew gets out there, it's still $106.59 fine for you failing to do it within the first 10 days of doing it. If you don't mow it and our contractors come out and mow it, it can exceed $400. So it's rather expensive to have the city mow for you. So I'd highly recommend that you don't. In 2017, we had over 4,000 mowing cases or tall grass cases. So this is quite a drain upon our department. If you can imagine, with 8 inspectors going out there and doing 4,000 cases, it takes away from us inspecting the sanitation cases and the housing cases and vehicle cases. Because starting in May, all the way until September, we're going house to house citing for weeds. And the community's participation and help by mowing their lawn and taking care of their property, one, relieves the pressure on us. It makes their property look better cared for and doesn't lower the value of the properties in the neighborhood. Because when you start getting a whole bunch of houses where people aren't mowing, it really does make the whole neighborhood look run down. And it's important you don't just mow the front yard. It's the front yard, the backyards, the sides, the easements, and the alleys, including the easement that is behind some people's house. It's a utility easement where the light poles go. Even if you have a fence that shields that from you, it's your responsibility to take care of half that easement. So these little flags, normally we take the pictures for public access. So we take the pictures from the street or the sidewalk and we put them right out by the sidewalk like that. And they'll just be sitting there out by the street. So when you're driving by, if you see those, you know that the city of Topeka has already cited that property. When you're mowing, if you don't bag and you blow your grass, it is against city code to blow your grass out into the street. And that's kind of a big issue. It may not seem like a big deal, but all that grass washes down into the drainage system and can clog it. And then all of a sudden you're going to have a street that floods and you don't know why, but it's because of all the debris that's been piling up into our sewer system and our drainage. So Water Pollution Control enforces the code for blowing it out into the street. But please don't, because that's just like John talked about. When you're blowing it in the street, you also might blow a rock, a twig, or anything else and hit a vehicle or hit someone riding a bike, and then you've created an injury or damage. So make sure when you're mowing to pay attention how you're blowing your grass and you're blowing it back onto your property.